CEO is going to be the first trillionaire. This dude
Trillionaire? Okay, what's up everybody? I have a little bit of an embarrassing habit to admit. I am deep in the weeds of fin talk or stock talk. I don't really know what to call it, but anyway, I've been scrolling through TikTok and apparently the algorithm is super good. They basically have me nailed for being such a nerd for finance and investing that's basically all that pops up on my feed. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to do my very first reaction video. Yeah, let's reaction. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be any good at this, but basically I'm just gonna scroll through TikTok and react to what I'm seeing.
I'm convinced that the Binance cryptocurrency exchange CEO is going to be the first trillionaire. This dude
Trillionaire? Okay, I get it. Yeah, you have 100% of your net worth invest. It makes sense. Like I feel like it's a marketing move. Like he's the CEO of one of the largest. I'm pretty sure Binance is one of the largest exchanges, and also Binance Coin is the third largest market cap for cryptocurrency. So it makes sense that the CEO he like kind of has to have a lot of money in crypto. We'll see what this dude says.
Dude just came out and said he has nearly 100% of his net worth invested in crypto, and he's worth 1.9 billion. This is the smartest move he could have made ever, and I don't like this guy. He said that Ethereum holders are going to be poor, but for
Okay, so I don't really understand exactly what this guy is saying, because he started by saying that this CEO who has 100% of his net worth in crypto, which I think makes kind of close to sense at least, is going to be the first trillionaire, but his reported net worth is $1.9 billion, which would mean that in order for him to become a trillionaire, the value of his portfolio would have to go up 500 times. Yeah, because a trillion is 1,000 billion. So that's a lot of money. Let's see what the rest of this video says.
this move, his respect points with me went up. He also said that he has no fiat holdings and that the crypto investments will not even be used to cash out to fiat. I'm convinced that...
Okay, so this dude's just kind of like hyping this CEO up. I do wonder what coins he has. I guess that's interesting. But I think it's like really kind of like a marketing move here. And also kind of ridiculous to think that this is going to be the first trillionaire, considering if he has $2 billion now, his investment would have to 500 times itself in order to be trillionaire. Okay, anyway, moving on.
3 things I wish I would have done when I was 18 that would have made me a multimillionaire. Yes, I'm a 26-year-old multimillionaire and I run a business with like 27 people. Might not have a label.
Okay, just general note. I know there's all these people out there that claim to be like super young multimillionaires. I feel like we got to figure out a way to provide some sort of legitimacy here. Like literally anyone could get on TikTok and say they're a multimillionaire. There's just no way to prove what any of these people are saying is true, which is one of the frustrating things. But anyway, we'll hear this guy out.
Genie for you, but it's the real shit. It's real. Number 1, I wish I would have developed unwavering focus. Focus is probably one of the best things to possibly have.
Okay, I actually 100% agree with this guy. Like I literally over the past couple weeks, like I own my own business, I invest, I have a day job like 9 to 5. So I'm like really busy, and the only way I can get everything done that I need to, literally the only way, is if I have focused time that I like 100% am present doing whatever the task is that is on my schedule. So far,
especially in this world
actually really
where people are just clicking and clicking, and it has something called shiny object syndrome, focus is an outlier. And don't tell me you have ADHD, so do I. Go run or something. Learn.
So many people have trouble focusing for various different reasons, but actually it's one of the skills I wish I developed most, and it's super important as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as an investor, just as a general like learner, to be able to focus and actually dedicate time, focus time to accomplishing things, or else it's really hard to build momentum. And if you can't build momentum, then you're just not going to feel like you're going anywhere. So I actually really like what this guy's saying so far.
Number 2, confidence. People are scared of everything. Everything. They're scared. I don't even need to know something. I could just move in with confidence and convince anybody, including myself, that I know it. Having unmatched confidence is equivalent to exiting the matrix at will, at any time.
All right, this one's a little like more off base, I think. I mean, confidence, yeah, super important. And one of the things I've realized, like just growing up, is really nobody like knows what they're actually doing. So confidence, like is overcompensation at some points, but I think the focus point was a little better.
In any situation. Number 3, I wish I would have never played it safe. I should have just risked everything at this young age and failed to success. I should have failed 1,000 times at the early age, and I'd be better off than I am today.
I feel like that's kind of like beating a dead. I mean, he's 26. He's still young, so like I don't really know. As long as you're learning along the way, I don't think it like necessarily matters how big the risks you take are or how like hard you fail. I feel like that's a little bit like over exaggerated, but I really like the focus point.
It's Bitcoin. Check out the daily chart of the king of cryptocurrencies that's doubled in price since mid-December. Now, I have always said I am not a crypto expert. My kin is stocks, all right?
Good old
but the
Jim
market system
Cramer
has predicted some major
predict
inflection points in this thing. And now
the
he's seeing
future
an
of
uptrend
Bitcoin.
exhaustion pattern in Bitcoin.
Oh boy.
Wow. Just like he spotted in the Dow and the S&P. No one wants to hear that.
The
If
music.
these people talk about Bitcoin, honestly, right? The market's timing.
I can't tell. The music is so depressing, and Jim Cramer is just like super obnoxious. I think what they're about to say is he's predicting that we're at I think he said exhaustion point with which I've never seen before. I don't know what that means. From what the chart looks like, it looks like this guy has developed an indicator that indicates the top of probably about to just, let's at least air him out.
Indicators are now firing warning signs. And if Bitcoin reaches its price target, it's 66347. So that's still far away. You might want to hang on to that. He's expecting a significant top, though. 14% gain from these levels. But given the volatility inherent.
Okay, so according to Jim Cramer, 66,000, you better watch out. Bitcoin's going through the floor as soon as it hits 66. So get them while you can. Make sure you sell at 66, and then it's just all gonna disappear. Dude, all these price predictions, it's just ridiculous. Like, I don't understand. Anyway, I don't understand why people spend so much energy regretting things that they didn't do with investing in the past, and also trying to predict like the ultimate downfall of an entire asset class so often. Like, it just seems so short-term focused. Like, why are people not spending more energy looking into long-term wealth building?
What you're saying is bullcrap. Some people don't believe me when I tell them that the spike in 10-year treasury yields will cause bitcoins and the stock market to crash. Now, they're saying make a real call. When will it happen? And what's the number it's going to happen at? Okay.
So this guy's talking about the 10-year treasury yields and stocks and bitcoins, which is interesting because Bitcoin is typically seen as something that's non-correlative, which is what so many people like about it. And it's actually one of the main things that traditional investors saw in Bitcoin early on, was that it wasn't correlated to the stock market, real estate, bond market, traditional asset classes. But this guy is saying that the 10-year treasury yield is going to affect Bitcoin and stocks the same way, which I feel like I highly disagree with, but it's interesting. Let's hear him out.
I'm going to give you a very specific number today, 2.149%. That's the specific level that the US 10-year treasury yields will need to get to when the market tanks. How do we arrive at this number? It was Goldman Sachs China's department. So this is an internal report, and a couple of weeks ago, they were working with a yield return rate about 1.4% on the 10-year treasury.
So basically what he's going to say is that at 2.149%, bond markets will actually yield a positive return rather than a negative return, because that's over the amount of inflation that people are calculating is in the market currently. So as soon as the bond market yields a positive return again, all the money is going to come out of stocks and cryptocurrency and go back into the bond market, which it's a fair point. I think the stock market will be way more affected than the cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin specifically. But I mean, we'll see. Maybe that's just a difference of opinions. I like that this guy is like brave enough to predict an exact number. He's obviously just going off of Goldman's calculations, which if you're going to go after one person's calculations or one body's calculations, Goldman probably the person to do it, or probably the firm to do it. Yeah, interesting stuff.
I'm a financial psychologist. I've studied thousands of millionaires, and I work directly with hundreds of millionaires.
A financial psychologist? That sounds like the coolest job ever. I hope this guy's cool.
And I own an asset management firm where we manage close to $500 million.
Oh my gosh.
I tell you that because I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say.
Okay,
Most
my
wealthy
attention.
people make money and they save and invest as much as they can. They let those investments grow for them but they don't trade. They're not up in the morning watching the markets and making trades all day long. Instead, they're focused on making more money and saving and investing more money. And
this goes back to what I was saying earlier. I agree 100%. It's interesting that he doesn't differentiate saving and investing, though, because I don't think a lot of millionaires necessarily have huge savings account. The thing that makes people wealthy is that they realize how to make their money work for them, and they use their money to build more money and even use their money to gain access to other people's money and make that money work for them as well. So it's interesting he didn't distinguish between saving and investing, because I think they're very different, and they're actually very different ways you can treat the money that you have. But regardless, 100% true. Warren Buffett said one time that when he bought his first stock, if he would have just bought one share of the S&P 500, it would have turned from a couple $100s to over $400,000 in his lifetime. I'm paraphrasing a little bit there. One of the biggest things that ruins people's investing and wealth building journeys is moving around too much. So a lot of times it's better to just stick with one investment long term than it is to trade the stock market, monitor the markets every single day. Waste time. Time is something you have to consider in this equation as well. Like, time is a resource just like money is.
Thing is, the more people trade in the stock market, the worse they do. So if you want to become a millionaire, you should act like one. Focus on making more money so you can save and invest more money. And that's how it's done.
I think what he's saying is that millionaires typically, obviously this guy's worked with a lot of them. I haven't worked with nearly as many as, well, actually I haven't worked with any millionaires. They set aside a larger portion of their money to invest. They don't necessarily have bigger savings accounts. They don't necessarily save more than other people, but they do set aside larger portions of their money to invest, and they generate income with the purpose of investing that instead of generating income so that they can spend more money, obviously. But his point is ultimately true. The more you trade, the worse you do statistically. Like, it is true. It's something that actually is really good to teach, especially beginner investors. It's super easy to want to just move around your money. And like we were talking about earlier, shiny object syndrome. Ooh, this stock is all of a sudden in the headlines. Ooh, this stock is, no.
Let's use Tony Robbins' famous quote. And he said, if you're 18 years old and you invest $300 a month for 8 years, and then at 8 years, you no longer invest again, you'll be financially free by the time you retire. You have $1.8 million. People are like, what the heck are you talking about? Well, at 8 years, you would...
I can't do the math in my head, but I'm inclined to believe this. Somebody check my math or check this math and let me know what you think, if it's exactly correct. I think he's assuming a 10...
They have invested...
Yeah, he's assuming a 10%.
$8,800.
Hold on.
And if it was invested in the stock market, which has earned about...
So this guy's assuming a 10% interest rate, which is a little high considering inflation. It's more historically is around 7%, which I don't mean to criticize this guy, but it is insane. If you start young and you invest consistently over a period of a few years, you can retire comfortably and never have to invest again after that period of your life. It's pretty insane. And I hope that more of this kind of stuff gets on TikTok, because if I would have started investing when I was, 13, 14, that's just, those are golden years. If you can stick to it, invest consistently, those are the golden years.
10%.
Not saying that every 14-year-old should start investing, just it's never a bad time. As soon as possible is always the best time.
Year for the last 30 years, and because of compound interest at retirement age, which is mid.
Hustle culture is so funny to me. It's like you're grinding right now after the year we just had that proved the entire world model's broken. You're still comfortable building that empire? All right, well, I see some grass here. I'm gonna lay down in some dog shit.
I don't want to get demonetized, but this is so refreshing. There's so much hustle culture content on this app. It's mind blowing. Like, obviously, if you get in a rabbit hole with TikTok, there are other things better that you could be doing with your life. But when you juxtapose somebody who's sitting there scrolling, probably just trying to relax, take some downtime, trying to distract themselves, or just are distracted in general, just trying to relax, and you juxtapose that with someone who's just breathing down their neck talking about how they need to work 12 hours a day for 60 years of their life and make a bunch of money, and that's all that ever matters. And it's really refreshing to have somebody that just understands that that's not the only meaning of life. So as much as like this stuff is fun and cool to talk about, like, balance everything in moderation, right?
This is how we make an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month renting out our camper van, which has become our new COVID side hustle.
Okay, so we literally just talked about hustle culture. So let's see what he talks about. $1,000 to $2,000. That is a solid side hustle, especially if it's passive. Let's see what he's got.
This is how it works. We listed it on a website called Outdoorsy, basically the Airbnb for campers.
That's a great idea. Whoever came up with the idea for that website, it's on. I mean, I don't know where you guys live, if vans are, but in LA, vans are literally I swear half the people in the city like live out of their vans. Man, I bet you could buy a van, renovate it, and then rent it out and probably cash flow like instantly. Dang. Okay. And he's already booked, and he literally just started. Okay. All right.
We haven't even had it listed for 2 months, and all those little red dots are symbolizing dates that have already been booked.
Did a good job with the van too.
I built out this camper van last summer in the heat of COVID, and it was a way to help us subsidize our income during this time, and now it's going to be something we can have going into the future.
Now that is okay. So it's okay. It's not totally passive. Well, to be fair, he didn't claim that it was passive income. One of my biggest pet peeves is people telling you how to make passive income when it's not truly a passive income source. I will never talk about any passive income unless it's truly passive, or I'll tell you this isn't truly passive. But $1,000 to $2,000 a month, I'm sure that's more than if they had a loan on the van. I'm sure that's more than what the loan is. So they're probably cash flowing on it, even if they have a payment. Even if I don't know. I don't know a ton about vans, but I imagine the website takes a percentage too. But still, that's a nice chunk of change. And if you could do this for a couple years, I might have to buy a van. Josh, you want to buy a van? Hit me up. All right, guys. Well, that was a ton of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous because I've never made a reaction video before, but hey, we're getting this channel to 100,000 subscribers. I want to have more fun with you guys. I want to talk, joke around, show you guys a little bit more of my personality, and ultimately help you guys understand like where to get good information about investing, like how we all can sort of navigate through the ridiculousness of all this information that we have constantly inflowing. So stick with me. I'll be reacting to more stuff soon. We're gonna keep making the videos better, and hopefully have some fun while we're doing it. If you like this video, definitely leave a comment below. Let me know how I can react, or send me things you want me to react to. That would be freaking awesome. Subscribe to the Wall Street Survivor channel. Throw this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.